So in my last video that I did in my car, I talked about how excited I was about all these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem announcements that they did. I literally was out, saw these announcements, and just recorded in my car because I was like, I gotta talk about this right now. I'm so excited. But now that I'm back home, now that I'm calm, now that I actually have more light on me, I thought I would talk a little bit more about all the different characters as well as the cast members that are voicing these characters in this movie. Because I know that people come from different generations of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so I know that sometimes some characters might be more familiar with certain people than other characters. So I'm not gonna give any like deep dives here, but just some basic ideas of who certain characters are, and also some ideas of who some of the actors that are in this movie, in case you don't know their previous work, to know why they might have been chosen to be in this. So let's talk about the Turtles themselves. Yeah, they got young people to voice all the Turtles, which I think was a smart move, especially if you're gonna try to make a franchise out of this. Leonardo is voiced by Nicholas Cantu, who was the voice of Gumball in The Amazing World of Gumball. He's also done voice acting for Sophia the First, Dora, and Friends, so making him the leader of the Turtles. I'm guessing Leonardo's the leader in this one. Already got some voice credentials behind him. Raphael is gonna be voiced by Brady New. Now, he is the voice of Greg in the current Diary of a Wimpy Kid animated movies that Disney Plus has been making. He was also in the movie Good Boys and shows like Boardwalk Empire, The Mighty Ducks Game Changers, and now he's Raphael, so he's got the credits. Give him a break. Micah Abbey is the voice of my main nerdy turtle, Donatello. Micah was one of the stars of a Nickelodeon series called Cousins for Life. Now he's promoted from cousin to Turtle Brother. Oh yeah, man, we got some Turtle Brothers up in here. Shaman Brown Jr. is Michelangelo, and this brother was from The Chi, so, you know. He was a regular on the series The Chi, and now he's in this. I know people are always talking about celebrities being voice actors. In the case of the Turtles, at least, they clearly went with the people they thought would be good. Even though they have some credits behind them, you know that they got picked based on their performances. Always good to welcome some new Turtles into the mix. That being said, there's a lot of celebrity voices in this movie. This movie saw your Super Mario Brothers movie and was like, oh, we're gonna take it up a notch. Jackie Chan is Splinter. I didn't think I needed this, but once I heard this, I was like, perfect. You want someone to be that wise mentor. You want somebody to have that feeling of knowledge, to be able to educate and mentor the Turtles, and I think Jackie Chan is perfect for that. So sometimes Splinter is a human, Hamato Yoshi, who gets turned into a rat, and then sometimes he's an actual rat that mutates into a humanoid mutant rat. As much as I love like the Ninja Turtles movie that did the rat thing and some other iterations, I always kind of like it when he's a human that gets mutated into a rat, because I feel like that gives him like a little bit of a backstory, extra backstory. Then you have that Hamato Yoshi and Rokusaki Splinter Shredder connection. So I would like to see that happen, but hey, we'll see what the movie does. But Jackie Chan I thought was a great choice. Like the moment I heard it, I was like, yes, yes, co-signed. Io Debris is voicing April in this. She is the current voice of Missy on the animated series Big Mouth. IMDb is also saying that she's going to be in the Thunderbolts movie, the Marvel Thunderbolts movie, and she's also a regular on the TV series The Bear, so you may have seen her on there. There have been many iterations of April throughout the various Ninja Turtle series. She's been an adult in some, she's been the same age as the Turtles in some, she's been a couple years older than the Turtles in Rise because she ended up going to college. There's also been different looks for April. Judging from the actress they chose, I feel like we might be getting a continuation from what they did with her in Rise, if you know what I mean. But I'm glad that April's in this. It's always nice for the Turtles to have a human ally, and April, of course, is that great ally to have. No mention of Casey Jones yet, so I'm wondering if that's gonna be something they're saving for the sequel. Maya Rudolph, you know her from SNL, movies, TV shows. She's done voices on cartoons. She's been in M&M's commercials. She's in everything. She is Cynthia Utrom. Like I said in the previous video, the Utroms are the alien race, usually from Dimension X. Some people will probably know them more as Krang or the Krang. And in various iterations of Ninja Turtles, both in comic books and in cartoons, the Utroms have been responsible for the mutagen. So I'm assuming to have Maya Rudolph in here playing a character named Cynthia Utrom, that probably the Utroms are the reason we're gonna have the mutagen that makes the Turtles and everyone else. The Mutant Mayhem, as it were. Now, the fact that they gave her a name, Cynthia Utrom, I have a theory. Doesn't matter if it comes true or not. But one of the things about the Utroms as well is that sometimes the Utroms will disguise themselves as humans. So like in the 2012 series, the Krang disguise themselves as humans. In the 2003 series, there's a very major character that ended up being an Utrom, no spoilers. So I'm wondering if that's gonna be the case with Cynthia. Are we gonna see her originally as a human, and then throughout the course of the movie, we find out that she's actually a Utrom in disguise? And then you have Giancarlo Esposito as Baxter Stockman. Yes, Giancarlo Esposito from The Mandalorian, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. He's done a bunch of voiceover work as well. He is Baxter. Great choice. Now, if I remember correctly, in the IDW comic book series, Baxter Stockman actually worked with Krang, training off Dimension X technology and mutagen to do experiments. In return, Krang is like, hey, Baxter, when I need you to do this for me, you better do it. Show me results. So I'm wondering if we're gonna get that kind of relationship in this movie with Baxter Stockman and Cynthia Uttroff. Casting Giancarlo Esposito makes me feel like we're gonna get 2003 series / IDW comic series Baxter Stockman vibes, which if y'all don't know, Baxter Stockman in that era is like menacing and wild. Like he's very Starscream, like, oh, I'm gonna follow you, boss, when you here, but then I'm gonna just do what I want to do when you leave. Now, it's pretty well known in the 80s animated series that Baxter Stockman gets turned into a fly, but in this movie, they have a character called Superfly, get it? Voiced by Ice Cube. So the question is, will Baxter Stockman in this movie turn into a fly, or is Superfly a completely different character? I questioned this in my previous video, and I had a couple of you write in my comments to remind me that in the IDW comics, they actually did have them as separate characters, technically. Baxter Stockman made a character called Flyborg, which was part fly and part cyborg, and also a double reference to Baxter Stockman himself. Because in the 80s series, Baxter Stockman turned into a fly. In the 2003 series, he turned into a part human, part machine. I have a feeling they're going to be separate characters, but who knows? I am very excited for Baxter Stockman to be in this movie. Oh, and just in case you missed it, let me say it again. Ice Cube is voicing a mutant in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, a mutant named Superfly. I just think that needs to be said again. So Seth Rogen's production company is behind this movie. So of course Seth Rogen was like, let me get in and do a voice too. So he's gonna be the voice of Bebop, which, you know, he's already done a warthog before. He was Pumbaa. So I think Bebop just makes sense for him. I got no notes. And Rocksteady is going to be John Cena. You can't see this pizza? Just like with Jackie Chan with Splinter, when they said that John Cena was Rocksteady and Seth Rogen is Bebop, I was like, yep, that's yes. This is also cool because this is the second time that John Cena is voiced a character in a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles project. He was the voice of Baron Draxum in Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And this is also the second time that a WWE superstar has been Rocksteady, because in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadow, the Michael Bay sequel movie, he was played by the WWE superstar Sheamus. So apparently Rocksteady is now a wrestler. That's the rule from here on out. Xavier Woods, Austin Creed, get ready. If they ever reboot this thing again, you better be Rocksteady. Hannibal Buress, a comedian. You might have seen him in the recent Spider-Man movies, the Eric Andre show. He's also voiced a number of things and been in a number of movies. He's going to be Genghis Frog in this movie. So Genghis Frog is one of the 4 punk frogs. The punk frogs have been in various versions of TMNT. The story about the punk frogs is actually pretty cool, at least what I remember from the 80s animated series. So Shredder was like, how do I defeat these turtles? Oh, I know. I'll have some mutants of my own because Rocksteady and Bebop aren't doing it. So he goes down to the swamp with some mutagen and he makes himself 4 punk frogs. Attila the Frog, Rasputin the Mad Frog, Napoleon Bona Frog, and Genghis Frog. And just like the turtles, they each have their own weapons. They each have their own shirt to show which one is which. Genghis Frog having an axe. And originally Shredder was like, the turtles are evil, so you work for me to stop them. And they're like, okay, Shredder. And then eventually they met the turtles and, you know, got the real talk. And it was like, oh, Shredder's actually the bad one. Well, now we're friends with the turtles. This is my impression of a punk frog. I don't think Hannibal Buress is gonna sound like this. But that's how they sounded in the 80s cartoon. Andre, go touch grass. As of right now, it seems like Genghis Frog is the only frog that's going to be in this movie. No mention of Attila or Rasputin or Napoleon Bona Frog. I'm hoping it goes well, and that way if we have a sequel, some other punk frogs might be able to show up. That'd be cool. I would love to see all 4 punk frogs. Even if I can never remember which frog is which, but I try to remember based on their weapons. Like Genghis has the axe. Attila, I believe, has the mace. Rasputin has the bow and arrow. And Napoleon Bona Frog has like a whip, I think. Is that correct? I'm not even gonna look it up. Just let me know in the comments if that's correct or not. Post Malone is voicing Ray Fillet. Is Post Malone gonna make a new version of the Ninja Turtles theme song, just like he did with the Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers theme song? Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. I freaking love that version, man. I love that song. So Ray Fillet, sometimes also referred to as Man Ray, he is a mutant manta ray who usually tries to fight for the environment. If you're messing up the oceans or pollution, then Ray Fillet is gonna come in Captain Planet style to try to save things. There also was a character in the 80s animated series called Ray. I think he was supposed to be Ray Fillet / Man Ray, but just named him Ray instead and gave him a different design. But if you ever read the Ninja Turtles Archie comics, then you've definitely seen Man Ray. And then if you got the toy, you know that he was called Ray Fillet on the toys. It's really cool to see Ray Fillet is going to be in this movie. Like Rocksteady and Bebop is like a sure thing that you think you're gonna get them, but Ray Fillet was not gonna be on my list of a character to show up in a Ninja Turtles movie, but I'm very happy that he is. Also surprised, but very happy that's going to be in this movie, Mondo Gecko. So Mondo Gecko is a mutant skateboarding gecko. Kind of has a cowabunga dude, Michelangelo personality. So much in fact that in the 2012 Ninja Turtles series, Mondo Gecko was voiced by Robbie Rist, who was the voice of Michelangelo in the 1990s live action movies. And in this movie, he's going to be voiced by Paul Rudd. Ant-Man is Mondo Gecko. Please let Mondo Gecko eat Baskin Robbins. Wingnut is in this. What? Now we deep cutting hard. I mean, even if you are a hardcore Ninja Turtles fan, it means a lot if you know who Wingnut is. He was in the 80s Turtles series, I know, in an episode. He was in the 2012 series as well. And I also remember Wingnut from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters, the Ninja Turtles fighting game on Super Nintendo. Wingnut was also in Shredder's Revenge. Wingnut is basically like the Ninja Turtles version of Batman, except it's an actual mutated bat, which I guess that means it's more like Man-Bat, but it's actually a superhero. He wears a superhero outfit, so that makes him Batman. This is really going off the rails. Sometimes Wingnut is referred to as a mutant, other times referred to as an alien, but always the case, bat and dressed up like a superhero. Now, Wingnut usually has a sidekick named Screwloose, who is a mutant mosquito. Didn't mention that, so I'm wondering if we're gonna get Screwloose in this movie as well. Natasha Demetrio is doing the voice of Wingnut. Natasha Demetrio is on the series What We Do in the Shadows, playing a vampire, so good fit. I'm really curious how Natasha Demetrio is gonna be playing Wingnut. And speaking of which, I screamed with joy when I saw the announcement that Leatherhead is going to be in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. I am so happy. So Leatherhead is a giant mutant alligator or sometimes crocodile. In some versions of Turtles, Leatherhead has been a villain. Back in the 80s animated series, I guarantee. Obviously in the video games, he's usually a mini boss battle. And of course the toy. But in the 2012 series, and I believe also in the 2003 series, Leatherhead was an ally to the Turtles. Will Leatherhead be a villain? An ally? A villain that turns into an ally? I'm just happy that Leatherhead is in it. That just made me so happy. Another character that I've always wanted to see in a movie. Like there was always this thought in my head that if the Michael Bay movies had one more movie, that Leatherhead would probably have been the character that they would have used. Like I could have seen them using Leatherhead and maybe turning Tyler Perry into a fly. That would be the next phase of those movies. But you know, that didn't happen. The voice of Leatherhead is Rose Byrne. Yes, Bridesmaids, Rose Byrne. Neighbors, Rose Byrne. X-Men First Class, Rose Byrne. Peter Rabbit, Rose Byrne. Rose Byrne is voicing Leatherhead. And I was like, wait, what? I mean, I'm all about this, but also I want to hear the voice. I want to know what this is going to be like. But then I remembered Rose Byrne is Australian. So, you know, back in the day with Leatherhead, sometimes it was Cajun style, I guarantee, by gumbo. Maybe Leatherhead will be a crocodile in this, and then Rose Byrne is gonna go all in on that Australian accent. I don't know. We don't know. We won't know until we see it. Now, like I said, there's been no mention of Shredder yet, but you can't have Ninja Turtles without Shredder. I joked about it in the last video, but now I'm actually kind of wondering, is Shredder gonna be that Thanos? Is he gonna be that character that's like looming in the background and is not the main threat just yet because we're just starting with these turtles? But over time, it's like, oh shoot, he's coming. Shredder's coming. Get ready. And then like it's gonna go all out when he's finally there to show his power. That would be pretty cool, because usually they want to put Shredder right up first and foremost. I like the idea of a build up to Shredder, like he's a final boss, you know? And then you could maybe open all the dimensions and have all the turtles come together from all the various eras of turtles to work together to fight him, because that would be awesome if you did a new Turtles Forever with all of the turtles. 2003 Turtles, Rise Turtles, 2012 Turtles, 80s Turtles, movie Turtles, I don't care, all the turtles in the Turtleverse. Let's do it. Okay, I'm thinking too far ahead. Let's let this one do its thing first before I start multi-dimension hopping up in here. I am just so happy. Like, we have had so many Ninja Turtle movies. Like, we've had 3 live action movies, we had that animated movie, we had the 2 Michael Bay movies, we've had even a couple of TV things. A lot of these characters don't get used. So the fact that they're using a lot of these mutants in this movie, I am so happy about it. I know some people are gonna be like, it's too many mutants, oh, is that gonna be too much? I don't care. There are a ton of mutants in the Ninja Turtles Turtleverse that have not been used on the big screen, and to see so many of them being used just makes me happy. What mutants are you excited to see in this movie, and what mutants do you think they should add in the future? For me personally, I need some Slash, and I would take a new Toka and Razor. That would be pretty cool. But let me know what you think. Or Ace Duck. God, I love this franchise so much.